The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sherman. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
Let's go! Blue landing!
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Sherman. Touchdown, Washington! Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". Down right at the 30-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try to be aggressive on their first series.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Terry. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Play clock winding down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
When you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Dawson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. The Redskins offense now. They head back onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
A huge play there for Washington. 43 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll run with Allen. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throw left side complete. That's Sutton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Now Allen pushes him over and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Dustin Hopkins now for the Redskins field goal. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Green 39! Green 39!
And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Now let's go! 319! 319!
And now here's a carry heading left. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Here's another of the Cardinal backs. This is David Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd down, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now. But later, when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The Redskins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw will turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. First down, he'll drop to throw. And some room to roam now. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 12 more yards there and another first down. Toss. Here's Allen. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up the first down.
On 3rd down. That's Allen. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit him, Brandon.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Terry. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
He'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And he whips that one incomplete there. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now he's going to go deep down the left. This is caught inside the 15. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And he's had great protection back there to throw, really been able to survey from the pocket.
That means the jersey stays clean, so the dry cleaning bill, that's reduced. It also means the trainer doesn't have to deal with him because he's not getting hit. Also means that he's able to find targets downfield at his leisure. That allows him to be really accurate.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And now it's second and goal. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And this offense on third down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a third and goal here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And Dawson's kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So that's their third trip to the red zone, but all they have to show so far is 2 field goals.
Tough sledding in this game for the offense. They get to the red zone. Normally you count on a minimum of 3 points in each red zone trip. Not so far in this game.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Underneath to Allen. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sherman. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Looking to throw. They find some open field here. Room to run inside the 40. And avoids the contact by sliding. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Redskins are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cardinals didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Redskins come out on 3rd and 4. Sherman's got the catch over the middle, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Cardinals have the football midway through the second. Under duress, and the pass is picked off. Foster's happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. Now waiting seconds of the half. Barnage is going to head outside to the right. He'll pick up more than 30 yards on the play. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get back up to our nation's capital as we rejoin Brandon Guy.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on 1st down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Andy Lee now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Sherman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll set up a throw. And this one is incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
2nd down following the incompletion. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. Carry for Allen. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Terry. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw here. Able to shake him off. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The Redskins on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 29 yards that time. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Here we go now. Green 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Terry. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. And give him a gain of 37. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
His throw caught right around the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And that 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. It is true. The lead cut to 10, 23-13. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. All right, Charles Davis, what do we make of these numbers and what's happened to the big tight end here?
Well, I think a lot of times we talk so much about adjustments and what you're going to do at halftime that maybe we miss what actually goes on. Because the sense is that, oh, they go in at the half, they just change everything. That's not really true. A Super Bowl winning quarterback out of New York always used to say, you've worked all week on a game plan. There's a reason you have it. Just either play it better or make subtle tweaks.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Cardinals.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point try now for Dawson. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college Did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and I was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. Shifts by him. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got...
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Mason Foster leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So look at Washington as they come onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Allen. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Shrugs the tackle. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and forever.
All right, here we go. Detroit!
First toss of the game here for the backup Barkley. Throwing left side, it's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Terry. A good pickup there at 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They run the counter now on first down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense.
Green 39.
Now Barkley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Karan Reed in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Dawson's kick is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And Allen's got it. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22. His throw is going to be incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a test replay, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, And an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Screen play, Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So a pressure spot now for Phil Dawson. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Now let's go. Boom, land it.
Allen here on the screen. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. It's Sherman, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Hopkins' kick is good. And we are tied once again here in the overtime session. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Will 3 points be enough to do it? We'll soon know as we continue here in overtime. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this, because knowing that the next point you give up lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive, not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit, because otherwise the offense is just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive. Three yards to go here on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and very rarely in the National Football League you tie. But that's what we had here. Each team with a field goal in the extra session, but nobody could separate.
I'm glad you went in that direction because I thought the next thing was going to be, and sometimes it rains, but that's not really the case here, right? Look, if this is college football, they keep playing. You know, they're going to break that tie and continue to go how many overtimes it takes. Postseason football, we're still playing. But it's the regular season. You get one extra period to decide it. This one, we get field goals on each side,